celebration of the literary arts here in Saskatchewan, today I'm very pleased to welcome Elizabeth Phillips. Now, Elizabeth is the 38th writer-in-residence here at the Saskatoon Public Library. She's an award-winning writer of 4 collections of poetry and 1 novel, The Afterlife of Birds. Liz, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to start out talking about your time as the writer-in-residence at the Saskatoon Public Library. So can you tell me a little bit about the program?
Sure. The writer-in-residence meets with local writers one-on-one and also holds workshops. I will also be visiting a couple of schools, I think, before my tenure is up. So, you know, the aim is to help writers improve their craft.
And you have quite a lot of experience as an editor, and that must be really valuable in a position like this.
Yeah, I think it makes me fast. Because I've edited 50 plus books, and so I got the software developed in here, I guess. So yes, I think my clients are finding it helpful. Yeah.
And do you find that people are bringing a specific genre to you, or are you seeing everything come across your desk?
Oh yeah, I'm seeing everything from family histories to literary nonfiction, memoir, poetry, short stories, novels in different genres, fantasy, realistic novels.
Do you see anything that has really got a big wow factor for you? Have you run across anything that you thought, wow, this is the next up and coming writer in Saskatoon?
Well, I think there are quite a few people who have the potential, to be successful published writers. It's hard to tell. I try not to go too much into the fortune telling side of things and just focus on the work. Yeah.
And helping people to improve and to feel stronger.
Yeah. And to be able to do it themselves, I think is an important aspect of it. You get help from someone else, hoping that you can internalize some of the skills and then be able to criticize your own work.
Because it's a wonderful program. People are able to access it without cost.
Yeah.
But the writer-in-residence time slots for one-on-one appointments always fill up really quickly.
Yeah. It's very popular, yeah.
So are you in this, as you go through this year, basically, or this 3 seasons of time, do you also have time to work on your own writing? That's part of the mandate, really, of the writer-in-residence, is to work on his or her own writing. I'm getting some time. I have to have some recovery after my days at the library because I've, absorbed a lot of energy and heard a lot of stories and dealt with a lot of different personalities. So, but yes, I do have time to work on my own stuff. And you've written mostly poetry, but you've also written a novel. Mm-hmm. What are you working on now?
Well, I've been writing some poems, but I'm also working on a new novel.
Oh, wonderful.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
Now, I think you've said that it took you a while to write your first novel.
10 years, yeah.
So is this novel going to take 10 years
I
as
sure
well?
hope not, no.
Now, I asked if you'd read a little segment for us, and you said not from the novel, but will you read us a poem this morning?
Sure. Since it's spring, although who knows when the viewers will be viewing this, here's a spring poem. It's called New Leaves from A Blue with Blood in It. The garden is threaded with a staccato flight of white-throated sparrows. From tree to pond to fence and back again, each takes a turn bathing in the green cup of water hyacinth. They do not long for the sun. Perhaps the yellow smudges in front of their eyes lend their vision the warmth I must reach for with my hands. But the morning when the sun returns after 10 days of rain, I find their singing in the early hours has greater weight, though also lightness, almost sculptural, some impromptu architecture of the dawn. It rises like a tree drawn out of several pure notes, thin bark stretched tight over the many gold branches. But it is the new leaves at the crown that matter. Their filigree holds the singing aloft, thousands of small silences pushing against sun. The shivering young leaves separate the air that is wind from the air that is music.
Now, do you find that you, where do you find your greatest inspiration? Is it in nature, or where do you find inspiration?
I think the greatest inspiration or the fuel comes a lot from other poems, from reading the work of other poets. And yes, natural imagery features a lot of my work, but I think it's reading a lot and being kind of ignited, my imagination being kind of ignited by the work of other poets. Yeah.
Do you have poets that you recommend people read, or poets that you just find are those?
Yeah, it's very
igniters?
individual, I think. Yeah. People are inspired by different voices. So, yeah.
And what inspires you?
What?
Who inspires you? Or does it depend on the season and the day and the project?
Well, yeah, it does depend a bit. Like Don Mackay, the Canadian poet Don Mackay, Robert Hass from the States, Louise Glick is a favorite of mine. She's an American writer. Yes.
Wonderful. Now, as the writer in residence, are you asked over and over again, what's the best advice you can give to someone who's a new writer or someone who's written a lot but really want to take it to the next level? Do you have some advice for those people?
Well, I do think reading is the most important thing. Reading as much work as you can get your hands on. It is alleged that Stephen King reads 5 hours a day.
Wow.
But of course, he probably has a lot of help with his other, his housekeeping and stuff. But if you can read more than you can be on your phone, that'd be a good thing.
That's a good advice for us in this day and age,
Yeah.
because we are reading, but it's not literature.
No,
it's not poetry.
No,
it's not fairy tales.
It's posts.
And then we're only writing posts.
Right. You need to think bigger.
I think we'll end on that. You need to think bigger.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Liz.
You're welcome.
It's been a delight to talk to you.
Okay, thanks.
I'm Danica Lorer, and this has been Lit Happens. You can find past episodes on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. If you have an idea for a program, you can contact me at danicalore@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching.